Hi guys, this is Sandra of the Alexandrite system. Well, it's almost a new year, and I wanted to take the time to talk about, well, hang on, let me get into something a little more festive for this. Ah, that's better. There's nothing quite like getting into the ugliest sweater you own and drinking a nice hot beverage to get you in the spirit to talking about the new year. This hot chocolate is not great. It is like salty for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, there's like a film in it. Oh, that's nasty. I'm not drinking that anymore. It's got like skin. I'm done with that. It's probably why it tasted salty. So since it's the end of the year, I wanted to take this as an opportunity to talk about some changes within our system in this last year, and also just kind of chat about the channel a little bit. Because I think it's good to talk about your triumphs, and I think the end of the calendar year is a great opportunity to do that. So our first real triumph for this year is that we discovered that we're a system. Only took us like 25 and a half years, but hey, we got it eventually. Back when we discovered the system in February, we thought that we were only 4 members. I was myself, Glow, Sunny, and Ellen initially. Even though the first person I made contact with was Claudia. It's a story. But since then, I've opened up to the idea of there being more of us. And since February, when we discovered the system, our numbers have grown from 4 to 15. And to be honest, I still feel like there are some gaps, so that number is definitely subject to change. And my main accomplishment is just that I'm not scared of that anymore. I'm really happy the system exists, and I've really been cherishing the opportunity to get to know everyone. My relationships with everyone in the system have changed a lot over this year as well, but I think the two biggest changes have been with Susan and with Claudia. When we first found Susan, I initially kind of described her as quiet and content, and she was at the time, but then we kind of stopped listening to her. Both me and Claudia kind of went, well, she's a kid. Her opinion doesn't really matter on our life. Or I guess at the time it was me and Claudia both saying her opinion doesn't matter on my life. And it took a long time and 2 different therapists to really get at why Susan was being, like, needlessly contrarian about everything. You know, I would say, oh, everybody in our system likes that. And Susan would just chime up and be like, I don't. Like, regardless of how she actually felt about it. Our therapist said, yeah, she's doing that for the reason that every 12-year-old girl does stuff like that. She wants to be heard and have her opinion valued. And since then, Susan has had many therapy sessions, and she's gotten way better. She was a pretty miserable kid for a while. Not even just since we found her, just kind of like in our life. And in the last few months, she and I have gotten really close, and she's gotten to be very, very content. I'm not going to say that she never has issues or that she doesn't have anything to work out anymore, but I can always tell when it's her fronting in a picture because she has just the biggest, most genuine smile. And she's actually started calling me Mom, and the first time that she did that, I actually, I cried, because I can't really describe it. It was just very touching. The relationship between me and Claudia has also changed quite a bit. When Claudia first showed up, we were just, at each other's throats all day, every day, for months. We found Claudia, I want to say, end of March. And honestly, it wasn't until July or August until Claudia and I started respecting each other. Again, a lot of therapy. Shout out to our therapist. But she and I have gotten to the point where we can be open and honest with each other, and we're not fighting all the time. I know in Claudia's introduction video, she went on some kind of long rant about me. I know her complaints back then were that I wasn't taking care of the body and that I wasn't taking care of the system. And I've changed that. And it's because she's done a lot of hard work, and because I've done a lot of hard work. And we three aren't the only ones in the system who have made huge strides. I mean, Ellen has really worked towards working on her seasonal depression, and Audrey has realized that she can't be strong all the time for everyone. She needs a break sometimes. Glow even went to a therapy session, something which I'm immensely proud of her for. I mean, there's so much work left to do, and I definitely know that, but it's sometimes really easy to just focus on, well, I have so much more left to do, when you can turn around and say, wow, I started from all the way back there. And similarly, I wanted to take the time to celebrate our channel a little bit. When we first had the idea to start this channel, we started it because I felt that we didn't have any representation that exactly represented us. There were a lot of experiences in other systems that we related to, but it never felt like anyone was out there just like us. And the hard fact is that no one out there is exactly like us. But that's true for any system. And in putting this representation out there have been comments that have really warmed my heart, where you guys have said that we've really helped you learn something about yourselves, or we've taught you a new way of looking at something, or that you've actually seen an aspect of yourselves represented in the way that we talk about ourselves. And that just, every time I see one of those comments, it really makes my day. I have this little file folder with a bunch of screenshots that's called Good for Smiles. And every time I get a heartwarming comment, I just stick it in there. And when I feel kind of bummed out about the channel, or I feel like just frustrated in general, I open up my Good for Smiles folder, and I remember why we did this in the first place. And we're at almost 200 subscribers right now, which is amazing. I didn't think that we would get past, 2 subscribers. The fact that there are so many of you out there just listening to us, it really amazes me. We have more followers on our system Twitter than on our, normal Twitter, and we've gotten to do so many cool things with this channel. We had our collaborations with the Ring System, we had our interview with Himengard. We've actually gotten to sort of track how our partner system has, grown over the past year. And we've gotten to talk about some really hard subjects, and you guys have been very open with us, and you've really shown your appreciation for that in ways that we can't overstate enough. So we're going to take next week off for the new year, just to recover from the crazy busy season at our job. And when we come back, we're going to keep making videos. We're going to keep trying to make an impact with our stuff. We also might do a little live stream just sometime in January. I don't know if you guys would be into that, but we will certainly maybe do it. We all just wanted to say, just from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for making this year really good for us. Thank you for sticking with us. And here's to 2020. Yeah, that's still gross. No, I'm not gonna.